Chow thief+system+original plot+post production anime. Through the flames, did Yuzhibo really go to jail as soon as he opened his eyes? It turns out that his future has been spoilt. In the future, he will be the true god who saves the world and the demon king who destroys all ninja villages. Some people want to lift him up high, while others want his bones to be gone. Third Hokage. Uchiha, when did you start colluding with Orochimaru to kill me? Gangshou. Damn little devil, how could I become your woman? Zhao Meiming said, I married myself to you, but you turned around and destroyed my Wuren village. You don't love me anymore, do you? Just as he was about to be executed by Kiba, fortunately the god-killing system awakened. At the beginning, obtain a large barrel wooden peach template, infinite evolution, and defeat the ninja world. Yuzhibo said, Hui, I am the only true god of the big barrel wood. I will be the rabbit knight. Chapter 1. The Insights of the Future. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Ziobewan, please pay attention to keeping your mind. The Hokage section is basically a pure original plot, and will be adapted to anime later. You can leave comments on the world you want to watch. Yuzhibo Itachi fans and Zilaiya fans are going out and turning left. This book is not for you to read. Even dirt fans crawl for me, the divine power is hard to hide tears, and my eyes are full of Lin. Woo-woo, it's really funny. Thank goodness, I have really learned Izanagi. Whether he can survive the night of extermination depends on him. In the southern part of Death Forest, Yuzhibo looked at the gradually rising sun, and his gloomy face finally showed a slight smile. He traveled from the Blue Star yesterday afternoon, leaving only some memories of his predecessor's legacy, as well as a pair of newly awakened Shangyu Sharingan. Let's not talk about the past. Since I came to this world, I really just want to live well. Yuzhibo, it has been some time since he celebrated his 18th coming-of-age ceremony. Recently, I finally awakened my Sharingan, a weak chicken who can even pass the endurance exam. Because I am too weak, I don't need to go to the battlefield during the third battle. My mother and Yuzhibo Meichin were best friends. My parents died in World War III. Because Yuzhibo was extremely talented, my mother entrusted him to her good friend Yuzhibo Meichin to take care of before her death. He stayed at Meichin's house. Because I live under the same roof, I really know that Fuyue has been holding a clan meeting for the past 3 days. Based on the plot of his past life, Uchiha really calculated that this was a coup of the Uchiha clan that was about to be launched, and the night of extermination was imminent. This is not the case in the original work, but I have decided on it here, otherwise the protagonist won't be able to determine the timeline. This makes Uchiha, who has just worn more and more, both hate and fear. No system, unable to fight, unable to escape, pondering hard, finally made him think of a way to survive. Uchiha's forbidden spell. Izanagi. At the moment of activation, the caster's own state is recorded using the Sharingan. Within the effective time of the spell, any damage suffered by the caster can be restored to the Sharingan's recorded state, at the cost that the eye using Izanagi will permanently lose its brightness. For the newly awakened Dan Goyu, the effective time of Issei Naki is less than 10 minutes, but that's enough. For Yuzhibo Itachi, he is just a trivial ant. He can kill him in an instant. After he dies, Itachi will not waste any time with him. And after the Weasel leaves, it will really recover. Then disguise yourself as the lucky one who survived a careless mistake, and then find a way to accumulate strength. Yuzhibo truly saw the news of this technique from his mother's relics, and he was very curious about it when he just woke up to right will eyes. He begged Meichin to let him see the scroll of Izanagi. A very clumsy excuse, Yuzhibo Meichin could detect the true concealment, but she didn't say anything. Instead, she gave Yuzhibo the scroll of Izanagi. After all, this is the only request that my best friend's child has made to her in recent years, and it's really Meichin who watched her grow up. Yuzhibo came to the Death Forest overnight to learn, perhaps because the soul of the traveler was too strong, sleepless all night long. He really learned as Anaji in despair. If I could survive, I would definitely make you pay the price, Uchiha Itachi. Is there really hatred in my eyes? I have no good impression of Uchiha Itachi, and I have never participated in any political activities of Uchiha. Just because I'm called Uchiha, I'm going to die. Why? Relaxed a little and my constantly tense mind. Yuzhibo walked towards home. Suddenly, a refreshing breeze chased by. Yuzhibo, Lord Huiying wants to see you. Come with us. Four dark figures wearing cat masks with short knives in hands suddenly appeared silently, locking Yuzhibo tightly and making it difficult to escape. The original owner didn't do anything criminal, did he? He clenched his fists tightly, feeling both puzzled and fearful. I came into this world with a mixture of deep resentment in my heart. Whether it's about Uchiha or the third generation, I really dislike the feeling that life and death are all in the minds of others. It's clear that I haven't done anything wrong. I know, I'll just go with you, Yuzhibo said. Suddenly, a dark side punched the real forehead. Sleeping slot. With a loud exclamation, I fell into a coma. When I wake up, I just feel pain all over my body. Looking around, Yuzhibo realized that he was locked in the dungeon of my, tightly bound by a steel lock larger than his arm, and his skin was covered in pitch-black spells used to seal his chakra. At this moment, the door to the prison cell opened. 3 generations of fire shadow, monkey flying sun / walked in. It's not stupid. He knows that he was most likely caught because of Ape Fei. Although he can't figure out why, Yuzhibo really knows that the only way out now is with Ape Fei, so he tried his best to make an innocent and puzzled expression on his face. However, when he really looked up, the old face of the third Hokage remained unchanged. He stared at Uchiha Shin with a cold expression, and even Shin could see the murderous intent in his eyes, as if he was about to cut him 1,000 times with a cold and gloomy expression. Yuzhibo, you're so brave. Do you just want to be Hokage like that? To be honest, when did you start colluding with Orochimaru? 5 months later, you colluded with Orochimaru and killed me. Then you sat in the position of Hokage, and then you killed Tanzang. You launched a great purge in Kiba, killing a large number of ninjas who were unwilling to submit to your lewd power. Alright, great. I didn't know you had such a big dissatisfaction with me, Huiying. It turns out that the so-called Yuzhibo waste is just pretending to be hiding their time. Indeed, he is a naturally evil Uchiha little ghost. The words of the third generation were like a sledgehammer, knocking the real brain out of its wits. What the hell? Although I wanted to kill you in my heart, I haven't done it yet. How did you know? Seeing Yuzhibo truly fall into shock, the third generation showed a cheerful smile and said, even if you're a genius like a deity, it still ended up in my hands, Now the communication from the other 4 countries has been sent, and none of them are asking for your execution. Uchiha, you are destined to have only one way out. So, Uchiha, in order to make Kiba stronger, please tell me the secret to how you can become so powerful. Please die for the sake of the village. Thinking of the future they see, a sense of fear arises in the hearts of the third generation, almost. This morning, all the ninjas in the ninja world who had reached the level of upper ninja had an illusory image in their minds. A total of 12 videos were played, which were the 12 major events that Uchiha Masami did in the future. Although not detailed enough, people in the ninja world have also learned countless amazing information from it. 5 months later, after a major battle with Orochimaru, Yukibojin killed 3 generations of Hokage, and Yukibojin became Hokage. This is also the beginning of Uchiha's legendary life. Originally, the so-called crane tails were all illusions, and Yuzhibo began to reveal his fangs. In that future, based on Kiba village, a unified ninja empire was established. Immortal, amazing strength. Uchiha is truly a hero who saved the world and a demon who destroyed all ninja villages. Now all the villages are focused on the real person, only he himself doesn't know. Some people don't want to end the era of Nanamura and want to leave no burial ground for true death. Hi, it's up to you. Let me search for his memories without any leakage. We need to dig out all his secrets, which is the key to the rise of Mai. The face of Ape Flying Sun Slayer showed a hint of fierceness. How could he possess the strength that is comparable to the reincarnation of the 6 immortals, an immortal body, and a mere Yuzhibo? Ape Fei wants to replace the real future, live forever, establish an eternal hegemony, and build a large harem. These are all his dreams. Now that he is old and has hope of coming back, how can he not be crazy? The reason why he killed Yuzhibo without catching him was because the 3rd generation Hokage wanted to steal the secret of Jin becoming powerful. And soul-searching techniques are useless for the dead. Mai's soul-searching secret technique is the strongest and most accurate among his confidants, Hai from Shanzhong. It took Yuzhibo some time to return to the village, which allowed him to survive until now. Yuzhibo looked at the old man in front of him and stopped his performance. He doesn't understand why this happened, where did the future picture come from? And those things are just a hint in my heart, many things I haven't thought about yet. The heart-reading secret of the mountain tribe must be clear-headed and not disturbed, so Ape Flying Sun / left the prison cell first, as if he had seen a beautiful future beckoning to him. I drove it poorly and changed some settings to make it as reasonable as possible. I really feel a bit hopeless this time, angry and unwilling, and have a hatred towards monkey flying in this ninja world. Because of the inexplicable so-called future, I will be soul-searched and then killed. Why? Shan's Honghai looked at the child in front of him with a cold and stern expression. No matter how talented you are now the fish and meat on the cutting board of Lord Hokage. Suddenly, only a gust of wind was heard blowing by. A hot stream of blood sprayed onto the real face. Detected enemy blood, the killing god system is activated. Novice gift pack. Merge randomly selected initial character templates with the host. Extract a large wooden peach-shaped template. Fused. This system is a god of killing system. As long as you keep killing, you can obtain killing points, which can be exchanged for anything in the system all. The number of killing points obtained varies depending on the strength of the killed creature. In an instant, a surging force surged into Uchiha's body, and his skin became even snow-white. He had horns growing on his head, and even his pitch-black eyes turned pure white, turning into white eyes. On his own hands, they each grew a reincarnation eye. A pure and flawless aura emerged from the real person, although the aura changed, the face was still his own, even more handsome than Peach style. Surprised, although the golden finger arrived late, Yuzhibo breathed a sigh of relief, and then an endless murderous aura surged in his heart. Ape Flying, I'll come and kill you right away. Peach style strength is not a big deal among the Big Barrelwood clan. But now, both Zhujian and Ban have cooled down. When Mingzuo was not yet grown up, he was absolutely invincible in the world. As for the 6 immortals and the Bright Knight, that's a guest from outside the world, not counting. The powerful force gave Yuzhibo a true sense of security, and he no longer wanted to experience the experience of life and death being controlled by others because of their thoughts. All the chakra seal spells on his body were sucked in by the right reincarnation eye, and Uchiha truly broke free from the constraints. Gao Huang Chanling Zun. It can absorb ninjutsu and double its power to return it. This is the Peach-style reincarnation eye pupil technique, and those chakra seals naturally cannot escape the fate of being absorbed. The 6 powers of the reincarnation eye itself can absorb ninjutsu, but even Kaguya cannot absorb the spells of people with similar abilities in this way. But Peach moves can be absorbed as long as they are spells, regardless of strength differences. Only a crisp sound was heard, and the iron chain on Yuzhibo's body shattered, his expression slightly complicated as he looked at him. Shanzhong Hai's heart was pierced, his face full of disbelief, but he had already died. And the one who started it was Yuzhibo Fuyue, who ran out of nowhere. Having a clear understanding of the greed of the third generation, I have already figured out the seriousness of the situation. In this situation, Fuyue dared to come and save him, and even killed Hai in the mountains. It is said that he would not be able to make amends with death at Huiying. Why do we have to reach this point? Chapter 2. This time, Yuzhibo wants to seize the future. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Fuyue hypnotized the guards all the way with the power of his Sharingan eyes, relying on the kaleidoscope, and finally found the place where he was truly imprisoned and sneaked in. Lose your mind, don't ask how Fuyue got in, asking is the author cheating on the protagonist. I didn't expect you to come and save me, Yuzhibo said. Fuyue shook his head and said, I'm not doing this for you, but for Uchiha, because only you are the future of Uchiha. It seems like I'm a bit unnecessary, but rest assured that this time, Uchiha will seize the future. He took a deep look at Uchiha. In my real eyes, that's definitely a blank eye. It's impossible for Fuyue to say he's not surprised, but when he thinks about that future, he opens his eyes. Yuzhibo won't interfere with any of your secrets. In the future that has been revealed, Yuzhibo established the great unified empire. The Yuzhibo clan has become the supreme clan with vast power, like the heavenly dragon people. However, under true governance, power has not corroded the hearts of the clan members, and those powerful and upright clan members have been born one after another. Yuzhibo has achieved true prosperity and prosperity. This is something that Fuyue has pursued for a lifetime but has not been able to achieve. From understanding the true future to only half a day now, the elders of Uchiha have reached a consensus that the coup and other related matters should be postponed a bit. No matter what the cost is, Uchiha's true life must be preserved. Now a brighter future has emerged, and all Uchiha have come together. The remaining Uchiha, led by Uchiha Shin, will fight a bloody path. Nowadays, Mai no longer has the soil for Uchiha to survive. The guards hypnotized by the kaleidoscope will soon realize that Ape Flying Sun / is not far from here and there is not much time left. My expression is really complicated. In a day of ups and downs, he thoroughly witnessed the cruelty of the ninja world. Can you tell me about those so-called futures? Yuzhibo really spoke up. Fuyue smiled and nodded. Just this morning, in the world of all ninjas, all those who have reached the level of upper ninja, have added a canvas to their minds. The canvas displays their future, but of course, it only reveals some major events, not your detailed life. This kind of calligraphy is not something that humans can create. They believe it is a divine edict brought by the 6 Immortals, serving as a warning to the ninja realm. 5 months later, you join forces with Orochimaru to kill the 3rd generation Hokage and take the Hokage throne yourself. Just 1 month later, you personally took action and killed Jitsuan Tuanzang and the 2 elders, reclaiming all power to Hokage alone. Then you formulated a basket of development plans for Mai, encouraging fertility, developing technology, liberating productivity, and Mai entered a period of rapid development. 5 years later, Kiba's registered ninja reached 1,000. You led Kiba to cancel the position of daimyo, take full control of the Fire Country, and change Kiba to the capital of the Fire Country. And your actions also triggered fear in the remaining countries, as the other 4 major ninja villages formed an alliance and began to confront Kiba, entering the era of dividing the world into 2. 2 years later, scientific ninja rapidly developed and created aerial vehicles. You led your own air force to launch a surprise attack on Sarin village, and overnight, Sarin village was destroyed. The 4th Ninja War also began as a result, but under your leadership, Kiba defeated the 3 Kingdoms Alliance in just 6 months. Afterwards, you established the great unified ninja empire, bringing the whole world under your rule. As an imperial clan, Uchiha's power and strength can be imagined. Later on, guests from outside the world wanted to take away chakra from the entire ninja realm and destroy the world. It was you who saved the world, and even made people from outside the world slaves. Ape Flying and others all want to explore the reason why you are so powerful, and then hold this power in their own hands. Remember, the 5 major countries are not safe, you need to be careful. At this moment, Fuyue's eyes flickered with a dazzling light. In my life, I have put in a lot of effort for Uchiha, but I haven't made any progress. Your fate is mysterious, and we, like Uchiha, won't ask about it. We are extremely certain that it's worth it for you. You are Uchiha's future. Starting from today, you will be the new clan leader of Uchiha, and everyone will bow down for you. Fuyue was very excited, but he didn't tell the truth. In that future, Yuzhibo really killed himself and then took away his wife. For Fuyue, he didn't care, as long as Yuzhibo could become stronger. After saying so much, Yuzhibo really didn't understand. The heavens played such a big joke on him, and that magnificent life was indeed his wish in his heart. But who had ever thought that before it was implemented, someone else would poke him out and he almost died? 6 Immortals, could it be you? If it were you, I would avenge this sooner or later. I really thought to myself. Let's go, it's too late for the 3rd generation to react. Even if the pupil power of the kaleidoscope Sharingan is amazing, it's not omnipotent. I'm not a match for the 3rd generation, Fuyue said, about to evacuate with Uchiha. Jin shook his head and said, although you may not believe what I said, if you didn't come today, I would really die. No matter what Yuzhibo is doing, the kindness of saving his life is true. I will definitely return this kindness to Yuzhibo. I will fulfill Yuzhibo's wish. The 2 of them stepped out and collided head-on with the returning 3rd generation Hokage. Yuzhibo, who had broken free from his shackles, and the body of high in the mountains on the ground deeply stimulated the nerves of 3 generations. The expression of the monkey flying sun slayer was extremely fierce. Yuzhibo, you are seeking death. Before the 3rd generation could take action, Fuyue, who was already oppressed by the pressure on his body, had to rebel first. In an instant, the golden chakra condensed from Fuyue's body and transformed into a demon god, enveloping him and Yuzhibo, punching the 3 generations in the head. Susanoo. 3rd generation, that is the future of Yuzhibo. This time, I will no longer be indecisive. I will bet everything on him, even if I give everything, I will not let you hurt him. In the original work, Fiercei Fuyue was renowned for his kaleidoscope, yet he was so indecisive that he ultimately died in the hands of his son. The most important reason was that he could not see the way out to lead Uchiha. Now, it's different. Fuyue had a smile on his face, his pupils turned into a windmill shape, and the corners of his eyes were bleeding. I will help you drag the 3 generations of them here. With your strength, you should be able to escape. The clan has already gathered and they will take you away from my. From now on, you will be the clan leader of Yuzhibo. After all, you also need manpower and horses, and you cannot do everything on your own. After I died, Mei Qin and the others asked you to take care of them, Fuyue said with a smile on his face, only fulfilling his wish that was about to be fulfilled. Yuzhibo looked speechless and said, all right, you go ahead on your own. When I kill the 3rd generation, I'll come find you. Chapter 3. Killing 3 generations, Uchiha leaves Kiba. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Fuyue's attack was easily dodged by the 3rd generation's teleportation technique. The face of the 3rd generation Hokage was so gloomy that it seemed like water could drip out. He never expected that Uchiha Fuyue, whom he regarded as a plaything, would still hide a pair of kaleidoscope riding will eyes. Susanoo, that is a technique known as divine power in the eyes of Shuluan, which integrates attack and defense and is extremely tricky. Moreover, Yuzhibo's arrogant tone also made him very uncomfortable. He had been aloof for too long, and no one dared to speak to him like that for a long time. Even before being caught, he was still a trash to endure. Fuyue was stunned when he heard Yuzhibo's words, but when he saw the truth, a smile appeared on his lips. He knew that his eldest nephew had changed. Suzo Ninghu cancelled and Fuyue drove away directly. Without Fuyue, you don't want to run, said Ape Fei coldly. My village is already in chaos. The Uchiha clan gathers the power of the entire clan to kill the wooden leaves and search for their shelter outside. However, he doesn't care. As long as he can uncover the secret of Uchiha truly becoming a fairy, everything is worth it. Yuzhibo looked at the third generation with a cold smile on his face. The strength of the Peach style is not much compared to that of the Otoku clan, far less powerful than that of the One Piece and the Radiant Knight, but it is also not comparable to that of many people in the ninja realm. Although I still don't know how to do ninjutsu in the Otokudo style, I only know how to endure and only know 3 body techniques. Now, relying solely on the power of my physical body can easily shatter a small mountain. Coupled with the eye of reincarnation, it is enough to easily kill 3 generations of old people. In my past life, I was just an ordinary person. It's impossible to say why I was innocent and killed for the prosperity of Konoha. Why? Time for revenge. Monkey Fly took action. 2 clones appeared out of thin air. With a clap of both hands, the 2 clones spit out flames and fierce oil. The ferocious dragon, several tens of meters long, surged in flames when it came into contact with the grease. It burned fiercely and transformed into a 100-meter-long demon, carrying the momentum of burning all the heavens. The heat wave surged and headed straight towards Uchiha. Wherever the fire passed, it was scorched earth. Yuzhibo simply raised his right hand lightly and saw the ferocious dragon transform into a plaything, completely absorbed by Zhen, and the air fell into tranquility. The failure of ninjutsu shocked everyone present, and Ape Fei's mind quickly recalled the future of Uchiha, who had been spoilt before. Those 12 short videos, including a video of a battle with extraterrestrial beings, seem like the enemy looks like this. Ape Fei remembered it with a serious expression on his face, because he remembered those extraterrestrial beings, each with a reincarnation eye. The next second, the reincarnation eye in Zhen's hand emitted a crimson radiance, and a raging fire erupted. The fiery dragon roared, scorching like the sun, stretching for 200 to 300 meters, instantly crossing the sky to devour the ape-flying crowd. Touch! I only heard a loud explosion. A huge mushroom cloud slowly rises from the wooden leaves, and the heat waves roll, burning the leaves wherever it passes into charcoal. Many secret forces bravely endured the flames and wielded their swords to kill Yuzhibo. They were not fools. After knowing that ninjutsu would be absorbed, they understood that winning could only rely on physical skills. However, the real body turned into a stream of light and disappeared, punching like a dragon. A thunderous roar echoed through my ears. The real punches went round and round like hitting a groundhog, only to see the heads of the dark ones turn into blood mist and dissipate in the air, and the remaining corpses fall to the ground one after another. The blades made of special chakra metal were easily shattered into pieces. Can a punch in the Otakuni style break Sasuke's Susuknang? Isn't it too much for my Otakuni Peach style to punch and endure the brain? Through the cycle of reincarnation, 2 black sticks were created and held in the palm of the hand through yin and yang evasion. Wanxiang Tian Yin. The strong gravity pulled the remaining dark parts one after another, only hearing a popping sound. I saw those 2 black sticks piercing through one dark body after another like barbecue sticks, and a strong smell of blood spread around. Yuzhibo looked at Ape Fei in the distance with a sarcastic expression on his face and threw away the corpses in his hand. You're the only one left, he said, the art of spiritual communication. Monkey Demon. In just a blink of an eye, a ferocious ape appeared out of nowhere, transforming into an invincible golden cudgel, held in its hand by the monkey flying sun, constantly stretching. Stepping out with one foot, the underground rock turned into gravel powder, and Yuzhibo turned into a remnant, crossing tens of meters directly and rushing towards the 3rd generation. Done, Huangquan Marsh. 3 generations clapped their hands and suddenly, the rocks under their feet turned into sticky swamps. Yuzhibo stumbled and almost fell, causing his movements to slow down a bit. The 3rd generation seized the opportunity and threw a huge golden cudgel at Jin's forehead. Yuzhibo hit the golden cudgel with a backhand punch, thundering and exploding, with flames soaring into the sky. Yuzhibo didn't take a step back, but the 3rd generation almost didn't recover in one breath. He flew backwards for several tens of meters, plowing a deep ditch on the ground. Ape-Fei struggled to get up from the ground, trembling all over his body. The force of the counterattack from a punch directly shattered the bones of his hands, and his hands could only be barely used to seal. With just one punch, the 3rd generation almost lost their combat effectiveness. The old people of the old era were destined to have only the opportunity to be eliminated in front of the body of the big barrel wood. Monkey Flying is proficient in 5 types of chakra ninjutsu, but ninjutsu is useless to the real world. If it comes to physical skills, how can one compare to the power of extraterrestrial beings? How can one fight this? Can only be sealed with ghosts and corpses. Apes fly in their hearts thinking. And he really broke free from the swamp. This time, he chose to fly directly into the sky through the gravitational control of the reincarnation eye path. The murderer will eventually be killed, 3 generations. You brought this fate on your own. Yuzhibo's face was really cold. The next second, the human transformed into a stream of light flying by, grabbing the black stick and instantly piercing through the head of the ape. However, the body exploded like a balloon, leaving me completely stunned. It's a clone technique, but it's careless. The next second, the ape flew out of the ground, and a stick pushed Yuzhibo backwards for several meters. The golden hoop stick transformed into an ape demon and tightly grasped Yuzhibo. The almost disabled hands of Ape-Fei were finally about to seal off the corpse and ghost, and the old man's face showed a hint of joy. From the moment he was punched and his hands were broken by Yuzhibo, he knew he was dead. His only thought now is to perish with Yuzhibo, anyway he is going to die, and the secret of becoming an immortal cannot be left in the realm of ninja. Yuzhibo smiled at the corners of his mouth, not struggling, just quietly watching the 3rd generation. Death's void shadow held a misplaced knife in its mouth and slowly emerged behind the 3rd generation. The Grim Reaper constantly drew 3 generations of chakras, and the old man became increasingly weak, his eyes filled with hatred towards Uchiha. Hands on, Grim Reaper. With the constant urging of the monkey flying, Death Void Shadow began to take action. A knife cut open his own stomach, and an illusory big hand grabbed Sandai's body, directly pulling out his soul. The next second, he saw the cold claw grabbing onto Yuzhibo's body. However, the power of the reincarnation eye has been activated. The ability of the 6 paths is a standard feature for every pair of reincarnation eyes. The human way can absorb souls. If it were a complete Grim Reaper, I would never dare to provoke him, but what the ghostly seal evokes is only a slight projection of the soul. It is the soul that can be absorbed, and its power cannot be compared to that of a complete reincarnation eye. A huge suction emanated from the reincarnation eye in Uchiha's hand, like a black hole. The death void seemed to be enraged, constantly roaring and struggling, but still unable to escape. In the end, it turned into Uchiha's nourishment. Yuzhibo trembled all over and struggled out of the monkey demon's claws, his little hand touching the monkey demon's body. His soul was drained away by the eye of reincarnation. Ape-Fei's face was covered in a deathly gray color, and the Immortals' eyes were too strong to even seal off the corpses and ghosts. The future scene that has been spoilt has the appearance of the Immortal Eye, and they all know about its 6 paths of power, but they know it. Whether they can deal with it is another matter. Wanxiang Tianin. The strong gravitational force directly sucked Ape-Fei over, and with his right hand gripping his neck, he gently twisted it. At this point, the 3rd generation Hokage Ape-Fei's son cut off the line. But I really didn't feel relieved, and in the end, I punched Ape Phase brain and his brain bounced everywhere. Ding, kill a shadow level powerhouse and gain 8,000 kill points. I really raised my eyebrows. Ape flying is really old, and the killing points given are relatively few in the shadow level. Shaking his head, he flew away directly. When he arrived at the Uchiha clan territory, he couldn't help but sigh. No wonder there were so few ninjas attacking him from the third generation side, and most of them were caught up in Uchiha. The Nanagawa shrine is crowded with a dense group of Yuzhibo people, old and young, ninjas, and civilians, but almost all of them are wearing armor and knives. Kiba has been targeting Uchiha for years, and now Uchiha's children, even if they have never done anything, will still be discriminated against in the village. Except for their own people, the rest of them wouldn't do their business at all. Other ninjas are also pushing out Uchiha's children together. All the members of Uchiha's clan, without exception, have anger in their hearts. Now there is a chaotic battle in front of us, and the bloody smell of corpses fills the entire battlefield. The remaining corpses on the ground include those of Uchiha and those of the Kiba tribe. It was Uchiha Itachi, the 25-year-old, who led the heavy army of Kiba to attack Uchiha. And when he really came, he happened to see Itachi driving his Susuke and hammering his father Yuzhibo Fuyue to death. Yuzhibo Itachi, you beast, you actually killed the clan leader. He's your father, and you don't deserve to be the junior clan leader of Yuzhibo. Yuzhibo gave birth to you and raised you, but you helped my slaughter his own people. We just need to leave here, why do you want to kill us? You don't even deserve the surname Yuzhibo. Damn it, you. The crowd of Yuzhibo was filled with anger, with people of all ages and even many children waiting for Yuzhibo Itachi with tears in their eyes, constantly cursing Yuzhibo Itachi. They had anticipated the siege of Mai, but Yuzhibo Itachi, a traitor, helped outsiders kill his own clan members, and even his own father was not spared. Everyone was angry. Fuyue wanted to leave with Yuzhibo, but couldn't bear the father-son conflict. In the end, he decided to become a deserter and hand Yuzhibo over to Zhen, while dying in the hands of his child. Itachi, why can't you leave with us? Is it wrong for your dad to just take us to find freedom? Even if you really don't want to leave Kiba, can you let Sasuke come with me? You can't protect Sasuke here. Meichin's face was filled with tears as she watched her eldest son kill her husband with her own hands, feeling hopeless. Beside Itachi, holding a small Sasuke, Sasuke was still an innocent child. He couldn't understand why his brother led troops to attack his father and his family, and why he wanted to kill his father. Mother said to leave Kiba, so why don't we leave together? As he listened to Meichin's accusations, Uchiha Itachi's face became dull. He firmly held Sasuke's hand and looked at his mother with a cold and stern expression. A stable wooden leaf is the best place for Sasuke to grow, and I won't let Sasuke live that kind of displaced life. That Yuzhibo is really a disaster. My father was killed by him, Yuzhibo. Mother, I don't want you to go down a dead end. For a completely impossible and elusive future, causing Mai to fall into war, it seems that Uchiha's magnanimity is nothing more than that. Mother, stop it. No matter who it is today, don't try to disrupt Kiba's stability and peace. Yuzhibo Itachi looked coldly at his tribe. In his eyes, except for Sasuke, all of his tribe members were a group of short-sighted fools living in his own world. At this moment, looking at the sudden appearance of Uchiha, Itachi became furious and said, "It's all because of you." Monthly reading. The corners of the eyes were bleeding, and the windmill-shaped pupils were spinning, staring fixedly at Uchiha Shin. However, unfortunately, Shin did not meet Itachi's gaze. Although monthly reading is strong, one will not fall for it without eye contact. Shenluo Tianjing. With a single finger in his right hand, Uchiha's immense gravity turned into an invisible slap, directly sending Itachi in his semi-finished product, Susanoo, flying away. Fuyue entrusted you to me before. Don't worry, I will be the pillar of this family in the future. Yuzhibo Itachi, this beast, killed Uncle Fuyue. Do you want me to take action now to avenge Uncle Fuyue? Yuzhibo Meichin leaned against Jin, tears streaming in her eyes, and kept shaking her head. No matter what, Itachi is also my child. Can you let him go? What else can I really say? Should I stay in my ancestral land or build another village on my own? Now my strength can protect you. Jin asked. Almost all Uchiha are willing to leave the sad place of Kiba, even if they leave their hometowns. Looking around at Yuzhibo, who had suffered heavy losses, he sighed helplessly. The people of Kiba didn't kill much, and most of them were killed by Itachi's Susanoo. It's a pity. The next second, only a wave of Jinda's hand was seen, and a huge pitch-black vortex appeared in front of everyone in Yuzhibo. Pupil technique. Ninjutsu in time and space. Open the spatial portal to other places, and the teleportation distance depends on the amount of chakra used. The people of Uchiha's tribe all walked in. Let's go. Meichin wanted to say something to Itachi, but was held in his arms and pulled away by Jin. Before leaving, he turned his head and said a word to Itachi, but only with his mouth and no sound. The recovered Itachi stood in the ruins, watching the man embrace his mother and calmly leave Kiba. Yuzhibo Itachi's face was full of murderous aura, and he no longer had the composure of the noble young master he once had. After Chapter 4, I will definitely drink less alcohol. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the end, the people of the Uchiha tribe quietly settled in the land of the bear. This country is located in the west of the mainland. The only ninja village in the country is called Starry Ninja Village, which became famous for a period of time because a meteorite fell from the sky 200 years ago and its predecessors learned the magic of peacocks. However, later on, it did not participate in the mainland competition and had a very low sense of presence, making it a good place for secret development. And the meteorite called Star, if I remember correctly, was a fragment that was knocked down from the 10 tails by the 6 Immortals back then. It floated in the universe for hundreds of years and finally landed in the ninja realm, never losing its vitality for so many years. If that thing is done well, maybe we can create a new external demon statue. Even if Yuzhibo really has a system in hand, there shouldn't be too many external demons like this. Now that the Uchiha clan has followed Jin, everything naturally belongs to Uchiha Jin's will. In my opinion, the strength of the Yuzhibo clan is still too weak today. 3 Goyu only have 8 or 9 people, and they still need to seal the mountain to accumulate strength. On the day when he emerged from the mountains, it was the day when the great unified empire was established and Uchiha was promoted to the imperial family. This can also be considered as repaying Uchiha's life-saving kindness. At that time, the matter of the Hokage plane was almost finished, and it was time to travel to another plane. Although the power of the peach style is powerful, it is still far from enough to challenge the entire ninja world alone. He still needs some time to develop, anyway, the system is in hand. Unless one becomes foolish and engages in a fierce battle with the entire village, there is really no danger to one's life. Moreover, Yuzhibo really has a very small mind. He had previously said that other ninja villages would also execute him, but he remembered it all in his heart. In the end, Yuzhibo and his companions set up camp on a high mountain 50 kilometers away from Shinrin village. Digging a super large base underground is simple and straightforward. In no time, the prototype of the base area was almost processed. Starting today, this is Yurin village. Looking at Yuzhibo, who is known as the largest clan in the ninja world, there are now less than 1,000 people following behind him in a bustling crowd. He really looks a bit sad and feels an endless sense of responsibility. But now is not the time to lament about life. Standing in front of all Uchiha, his expression was cold and stern. I will take this clan leader seriously. No matter what your purpose is, the grace of saving lives is the grace of saving lives. I will definitely bring Uchiha back to his former glory. Kiba will also pay a price. From now on, this is our new home. Everyone, take a good rest and accumulate strength first. However, before that, I have one more message to tell you about the evolution of the Sharingan. It's not necessary to kill one's own loved ones, as long as it's an extremely strong emotion, it can promote the opening and evolution of the Sharingan. Even the opening of the Sharingan in the kaleidoscope is the same. Strong enough love, hate, anger, and despair are all possible, so. Now that everyone has seen the power of the kaleidoscope, they have finally followed me to this place. I don't want any incidents of killing my loved ones for the sake of power to happen. Upon hearing this, everyone in Uchiha was very excited, and it was not an exaggeration to say that he was the first blood stain in the ninja realm. Over the years, they have been searching for a way to evolve their eyes, but have not found the key. Some have killed their beloved relatives and friends in order to evolve their eyes, and those memories have turned into half-nightmares constantly entangled. Now, they have finally found a new path. Leaving the highly targeted place of now building my own village, a beautiful life is right in front of me. Everyone dispersed, and Yuzhibo followed Mei-chin into the room. At the moment when the door was tightly closed, Yuzhibo Mei-chin could no longer hold her tension and knelt on the ground, tears streaming incessantly, her whole body trembling. Xiaojun, Fuyue is dead, Sasuke and Itachi are still in Kiba, I don't know if they will have any problems. I miss them. For the first time, Mei-chin harbored a slight resentment towards her eldest son. Itachi was still too young to see the essence of Kiba clearly, and was unwilling to let Sasuke leave with them. With Itachi's strength, he can protect himself in Konoha, but he cannot protect Sasuke. Mei-chin has a very gentle temperament, and what she wants is a peaceful life of daily necessities. However, all of this was destroyed overnight. But Mei-chin cannot have any complaints about these things, because this is the wish of his deceased husband, and the responsibility of his wife is to stand steadfastly behind her husband, isn't it? Finally, Mei-chin can only bury all the pain in her own heart. The black tight combat short sleeves highlight Mei-chin's voluptuous figure to the fullest. Her beautiful face is full of the beauty of a mature woman, accompanied by constantly dripping tears. She is such a beautiful and undead person that I still pity when I see her. He let out a deep sigh, looking at Mei-chin's expression, he felt even more uncomfortable in his heart. Over the years, Mei-chin has also given herself a lot of care. Yuzhibo was stunned for a moment, but in the end, he hugged Mei-chin and lent her his shoulder. Not long after, his shoulder was already wet with tears. Women always need someone to rely on, let alone in this foreign land where the world is at odds. Don't worry, Itachi is a staunch member of the Hokage faction. Kiba won't do anything to him, let alone his kaleidoscope has awakened. With him, Sasuke can still be saved. You have to worry really. After a while, when my strength improves and we stand firm, I will go to Kiba to bring Sasuke out. Cry, just cry out. I don't know how long it took, but Mei-chin finally regained her composure. Looking at Mei-chin with a haggard face in front of him, Yuzhibo really didn't know how to comfort people, and in the end, he could only offer his own killer weapon. Drink. When you get drunk, you forget all the annoying things. 1 cup for you, 1 cup for me. One night passed, and I really felt like my mind was in a daze. Opening his eyes, Uchiha was truly inspired. Facing Mei-chin's 4 eyes, everything fell silent in an instant. Memories of last night flooded into her heart, and Mei-chin's eyes relaxed as she said, I'm Xiaojun's best friend. Why did I just drink and cause trouble? I'm not really someone with ink stains. I'm also an 18-year-old adult, so it's okay to marry a wife. Mei-chin is currently single and he can fully take responsibility. After spending so many years together day and night, if I make a mistake, I will take responsibility. Anyway, Mei-chin is just my mother's best friend, not any relative. I will take responsibility, Mei-chin. I really spoke up. Mei-chin didn't understand the true meaning and glared fiercely at Yuzhibo, but there was no hint of killing intent, only the seductive charm of a beautiful woman. I still want to be responsible, beautiful and beautiful. This time, let's not make an exception. I'm telling you, today's situation is rotten in your stomach. Especially in the future, it's not allowed to be mentioned by Sasuke and his team at all. Mei-chin eventually drove Yuzhibo away. After waking up, Yuzhibo was really watching the clouds roll and stretch by the edge of the cliff, pondering the direction of the future. Suddenly, I sensed someone's breath. Yuzhibo raised his eyebrows, reached out, and the reincarnation eye created a black stick and shot it towards the ground. Being dodged, come out, Black Jew, he said lightly. Regardless of whether coming to find him with the intention of blacklisting oneself or Uchiha, with his current strength, there is no need to worry about the other party. Therefore, his mentality is really different from before, and there is no need to be timid. Sure enough, as soon as the words fell, a thick ink rose from the depths of the rocks on the ground, with a completely pitch black head in the ink. Chapter 5. Black Jew confesses father. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Sure enough, you know me. Black Jew looked at Yuzhibo in front of him, somewhat surprised. When he was really caught before, he had been watching underground all along. In the blink of an eye, he saw the other person transform from a ninja to a person with strength comparable to his mother. Thinking of what he saw in that future, Yuzhibo actually married Hui and became his own father, which made Heijue feel a bit strange in his heart. That kind of large-scale projection of memories into everyone's minds, without the power of the 10 tails, even during his mother's heyday, could not be achieved. So even if it's a blackout, I really believe that the future that has been revealed is the fate revealed by the rules of the universe, which is truly happening. Are you a member of the Otoku tribe? Black Jew looked very strange. He still couldn't accept that his mother, the goddess of Mao, the sacred and noble Hui Ji, would really become a man's wife and give birth to children for him, even if it was of the same race. You should know that he and the 6 Immortals are just children created by Hui using Yin-Yang Dan and his own bloodline. From ancient times to the present, Hui has always been a perfect body. You overthink it, I just have the power of the big barrel wood and say I'm not from Hui's hometown. Upon hearing these words, Heijue breathed a clear sigh of relief. After all, he learned from the information left by Hui that the people of the Otokubo family were all animals. In this world, only you, Yuzhibo, really won't harm your mother, so I want to cooperate with you to save your mother. Black Jew spoke. I was really stunned for a moment, then a smile appeared on the corner of my mouth. Can you take the liberty of asking? How are you certain that I won't harm Hui Ji? Can it be that the so-called future revealed the life of me and Hui together? If that's the case, wouldn't Heijue call me Dad? Black is not a good thing, but although it is also a descendant of Hui Yi, unlike the 6 Immortals, the creation of Black Jew was already a sealed moment back then. This also leads to Black Jew not mastering any powerful combat power, but rather being an auxiliary character with extremely strong yin and yang evasion, making it difficult to be detected anywhere. You. Black Jew can't hold his tension anymore. Do you want me, a person over 1,000 years old, to call you, an 18-year-old, Dad? Although what Yuzhibo said is true, it is still something that has not happened in the future, isn't it? Okay, I'm not joking with you anymore, he said with a smile. I can keep her, Hui Yi. Although I am strong, I am not a match for the current 6 Immortals. He will not allow me to release your mother. I need to wait, and I will accumulate my strength. He shook his head helplessly. After revealing his peach-like power earlier, he felt like he was being spied on, probably the 6 Immortals in the underworld. But with your cooperation, how can you provide me with any help? It's not like you just say a word and I'll help me become a thug, right? Through the passage of time, with the system in hand, Yuzhibo naturally has the desire to become a rabbit knight, and Hui cannot let it go. In the revealed future, Shao naturally also existed, but before they could start capturing the tail beast, they were directly annihilated by Yukibojin's army, which also led to the fact that the purpose of Black Jew had not yet been known by the people of the ninja realm. In the future, there will be scenes of 10 Tails resurrecting and Hui getting out of trouble, but how did all of this happen? The future has not been revealed, which also relieved Heiju. I can help you transplant interstitial cells for the people of Yuzhibo's tribe. I still have a lot of inventory, said Heiju. You may not know that in the long years of the ninja world, there were many bloodline families that I created. Although my strength is not enough, I can still help your subordinates create blood. With your and your mother's strength, the future journey cannot only be in this world. Your subordinates will always need people and horses, right? I was stunned for a moment, but I didn't expect that Heiju would still be a research genius, so I immediately agreed. Black Jew gave him a fan, which was the super ninja tool from Uchiha's ancestors that could rebound all ninjutsu. Isn't the Yuzhibo fan ruined by ban? Why are you here? I'm really curious. And as soon as these words came out, Heiju's expression was very complicated. Sure enough, you know everything. What's the current situation with Shao? Black Jew shook his head and said, in the future, you will personally take action to capture Dai 2, so his identity has been revealed in the ninja realm. This chess piece will be of no use for a considerable period of time afterwards. Shao will still collect the tail beasts. When Changmen gathers all the tail beasts, he will have no control over how things will develop. When the Moon Eye plan is implemented, even if there are 6 Immortals henchmen and you are on the side to restrain them, I believe it will be enough. I nodded and didn't say anything more. Alright, I've agreed to Hui's matter. You go, by the way, leave a spore clone here. If I ask you to give something or something in the future, I'll let you know. By the way, always gather me some information about criminals, rebellions, and so on, I can use it. After really speaking, Heiju's mind was filled with black threads, and he felt like the third son of his majestic goddess Mao. How could he be like a delivery person in his mouth? I know. Black Jew silently sank into the ground, and the only thought in his heart was to endure. Yuzhibo has also started to kill enemies and earn points. Although Taosher's strength is strong, it is not enough. I have always been wary of this old man who has always regarded the ninja world as his backyard. He began to take on bounty missions in various places, killing bandits, traitors, and anyone who did evil or became enemies with him for no reason. Yuzhibo's true killing point is also slowly growing. Killing an ordinary person is 1 kill point, and the number of kill points obtained varies depending on the strength of the victim. In today's era, there are more than thousands of bandits who rebel and endure, which is also good news for Jin. I won't implicate innocent people like Itachi, but since you're all going to kill me, please go ahead and die as you please. A cold smile really appeared on my face. On the other side, envoys from the other 4 countries descended upon Kiba, only to see vast expanses of ruins. Muyi has indeed fallen, and even after capturing that Yuzhibo, he actually let the other party run away. The person who spoke sarcastically was Sandai Wakage, who called the Yi Mu 2 days ago and eliminated the user of Chandun with bloodstains. He certainly knew it was because of the rebellion of the Uchiha clan that he was able to escape, but it has been so long since we last met. Without a few sarcastic remarks, how can he deserve his identity as a Taing? At this moment, almost all of Kiba's dispatched ninjas had returned. Zilaiya also hated Jin because his teacher died at the hands of Uchiha Jin. And Gangshou was curious. She was full of anticipation for the beautiful and somewhat unattractive Uchiha. At this age, why did she become a member of the true harem? Although she was really handsome. Nowadays, the people who hold the power of Myoba have become the group leaders who control the roots. The 2 elders are loyal to Tuanzang Ma Shou Shizhan. Tuanzang was on a mission outside before, and as soon as he learned about the true fate of Uchiha, he rushed back, but still missed it. If his roots were present, Uchiha's casualties would be even greater. It's not yet time to mourn, for the hasty death of the monkey flying Sunday. Tuanzang is finally about to sit on the throne of the fire shadow. He's about to burst out laughing in his heart, but he still needs to put on a heavy expression on his face. At that time, before the support arrived, the third generation was really killed, so the people of Kiba only knew that they had real shadow level strength, but they didn't know how strong it was. It's not easy to find that little thief now. That Yuzhibo little ghost is a warning from heaven, and it's truly magical and unpredictable. It's likely to become incredibly powerful in a very short amount of time. Now, everyone should take all your precautions. There was a hint of coldness in Inoki's eyes, and he was determined to kill Uchiha. In that future, my Yenren village will be occupied by Yuzhibo Zhen, and the name of Taiying will no longer exist. More importantly, did Yuzhibo actually make his most precious granddaughter Haidu one of their harems? It's really unreasonable. Now we have to take advantage of the other party's wings not yet fully developed, take away everything from them, and perhaps even let our own Yenren village replace them, taking over the power of the unified world, known for generations. Although the Uchiha clan has escaped, I heard that there are still 2 orphans left in my village. Didn't Uchiha Fuyue entrust his wife and clan members to that little ghost? We will set up a trap and threaten Uchiha Meichin with these 2 orphans. Uchiha Meichin will definitely fall into the trap for her own child, Tuanzang said. Yuzhibo Meichin is here. Do you think he will come or not? If he comes, we can catch him. If Yuzhibo Meichin doesn't come, the former clan leader's child will die because of Yuzhibo Zhen, and Yuzhibo's clan members won't be able to follow him anymore. And what do you think is the true secret of Uchiha, which cannot be hidden for personal gain and should be jointly explored by the 5 major powers? Inoki's eyes flickered with a cold light. What if no one comes? If no one comes, then kill that little ghost. As the wife of the clan chief, Yuzhibo Meichin, feeling sorry for her son's injury, will raise her arms and shout, and Yuzhibo will also be betrayed by them. At that time, he will betray himself and become a street mouse in the world of all ninjas. Even if he is a deity in the world, we can gather the power of the world of all ninjas and compete with him. Because Uchiha Itachi is a thorough Hokage, Kiba can provide his brother Uchiha Sasuke with a good growth environment, which is also the reason why he is willing to help himself. For the sake of oneself, the other party is even more at odds with their mother. In theory, Hokage cannot do this to Uchiha Itachi, otherwise who will continue to sacrifice their lives for Hokage in the future. But unfortunately, Tuanzang doesn't care about these things at all. In his heart, Yuzhibo is just the material for biochemical experiments. Tuanzang wanted to execute Uchiha Sasuke, but when he told Itachi about using Sasuke as bait, Itachi naturally disagreed. With him, he would never let his younger brother be threatened. However, when he thought about his mother leaving, his deceased father, and Sasuke crying for his mother, Itachi ultimately agreed. Because he also felt that Uchiha was a real disaster, causing his family to fall apart. In that future, Uchiha truly broke all existing systems, making the world no longer stable, and later leading to wars, each of which displeased Itachi. Yuzhibo is still constantly killing those bandits and rebelling, but news about Mai's upcoming public execution of Yuzhibo's remaining sins has already been spread everywhere. After learning the news, Zhen quickly rushed back to Yurin village. At this point, Meichin was completely panicked and said, "I'm going to save Sasuke. It's all my fault. Her husband has already died, and she cannot accept that her son has also died before her eyes." Meichin does not have the strength to rescue her child under the heavy siege of Kiba, but as a mother, even if she dies, she also wants to die with her own child. "It's okay, I'll save Sasuke." Zhen gently embraced Meichin, who leaned against her shoulder, sobbing incessantly. "You can rest assured to leave it to me. You forgot how I brought you out back then." Yuzhibo smiled. "Be careful, your face is crying." In the next second, Zhen transformed into a lingering shadow, disappearing from its original position and flying in the sky. Yuzhibo's face was filled with a sneer, as if he had seen a large number of points waving at him. The public execution is very beautiful, but you are not just, and I am not a white-beard either. Chapter 6. Killing the Earth and Seizing Divine Power. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Before going to save Sasuke, there is still a troublemaker that needs to be disposed of. Uchiha is not very skilled in both physical and ninjutsu. With his divine power like a cheat, he jumps happily and enjoys causing trouble. Since he has become the leader of Yuzhibo's clan, he can no longer let Daitu, who has already targeted Yuzhibo as a prey, live outside. With peach-like strength, although he can beat the current Konoha, if he is ambushed, he will still die. In addition, the trap of the 5 great ninja villages led him over this time, and his own life-saving methods were not good enough, so he really set his sights on the divine power with soil. The system can perfectly integrate the bloodstain limits of others by consuming killing points, which is more cost-effective than directly purchasing bloodstain limits in the system. I really have to feel that I am a hard-working and frugal man who manages a household. Moreover, I am also seeking revenge. If there were no future spoilers, one's own system would not awaken, and at that time, ghosts would know if they could survive the night of destruction driven by soil. Injecting a strand of chakra into his shoulder, he saw a snow-white spore expanding in an instant, then growing into a white giant. Tell me the location of Black Jew, I need to find him if I have something to do, Shen said. Got it, really grown up. I saw that by Jew's playful and smiling face twisted off his head, then turned into a wisp of smoke and dissipated, and his consciousness had returned to Black Jew's side. The next second, a pitch-black spatial vortex appeared before my eyes, and Yuzhibo walked in and reappeared, crossing hundreds of kilometers to reach Black Jew. What are you looking for me for? Quietly, a reed head grew from the ground. Help me bring Yuzhibo to find him, I want his eyes to be useful. Yuzhibo's face was cold. After bringing the soil, you will launch a surprise attack and kill him. This is also a test for Black Jew, to see if he can be willing to cultivate chess pieces like this for many years. Of course, Tsuzigo is not a good person either. The Yuzhibo clan was squeezed out like this by Muyi, because Daitu instigated many mentally unstable people in the dark, leading to their blackening. The night of extermination was also driven by Daitu from behind. If there were no system, if it weren't for that inexplicable and insightful future, Uchiha would have died in the night of the extermination planned by the leader. In the original work, the night of extinction may seem like Tuanzang on the surface, but in reality, it's all about adding soil to the situation. Whether it's Itachi or Tuanzang, there is his shadow around him. I don't have any favorable impression towards the person who subjectively wants to kill me. Now the coalition forces of the 5 major powers are laying a trap in the sky and earth, waiting for him to jump in. Now, I am carrying the Uchiha clan. The former clan leader saved me with his life, and I must go and save his orphan, not to mention that he is still my cheap son. After a romantic encounter with Mei Qin, he has already treated her as his own woman. Shenwei, it's really a convenient ability. If you exchange it with the system, you don't know how many enemies you need to kill. After much thought, it's better to just kill Dai Tuesday. Heiju was stunned for a moment, but when he thought about his current situation, he became indifferent. From the current situation, it can be seen that his future father, Yuzhibo, and Tu, on both sides, can be trusted to know with his feet that he is Yuzhibo. The role of carrying soil has always been just to supervise Changmen in capturing tail beasts and then resurrect bands. In this situation, it doesn't matter whether bands are alive or not. Got it, you wait. Black Jew spoke and then sank underground. Only Yuzhibo was left alone on the cliff waiting for prey to come knocking. Although the divine power with soil is powerful, it is not a big deal in front of him who has integrated peach-style power. It's quite simple to trick the soil around. Because the future of Uchiha was previously revealed, Daitu had already sent Heiju to find his true location. In the revealed future, Heiju's identity was not exposed, they only saw a piece of black lacquer hidden in Huiye's sleeve. At this moment, Daitu still thought that Heijue was a consciousness of spots. In order to create a world with Lin, Daitu needs a powerful force that can overwhelm the entire world. The previous 10 tails were his prey, but now, with a more suitable target, it is also his prey. Daitu has also set his sights on the true secret, wanting to quickly become stronger and break free from constraints. If there is Black Jew, Daitu can easily fall for it. He has too much confidence in Shenwei. When Black Jew arrived near Yuran village with soil, what caught the eye was a brilliant smiling face, the gentle girl as before. Lin. Daitu was momentarily lost in thought, thinking that Lin had come to life. However, in an instant, he understood that it was an illusion, and with endless anger in his heart, he was about to take action. Yi Yuan Lin, with the white moonlight in his heart, he did not allow anyone to defile her. However, the black behind it is even faster than the action with dirt. A thick cloud of ink fell to the ground, and in just an instant, it covered half of the body with dirt, turning the whole person into half black and half white. It seems like many things were actually completed in the blink of an eye. Black Jew is like a pitch-black cling film, wrapped around the body with soil, and the right half of the body with soil has lost control. Black Jew, you betrayed me. Daitu was shocked and struggled to use his divine power to escape. However, his pitch-black hand was out of control and in just an instant pierced through his eye socket, digging out the kaleidoscope Sharingan. After regaining her senses, Lin also disappeared. So it's all your schemes. Daitu harbored a deep hatred in his heart. He hated himself for being too foolish and never being on the same side as Ban. He even believed in Heijue, a creature born from Ban's consciousness. He also hated Yuzhibo for being shameless and pretending to be a little girl to disturb his mind. Yuzhibo looked expressionlessly at Daitu in front of him and said, "Anyway, you're not a good person either, so you'd better go to hell and consider it the price of planning Yuzhibo's extermination." At that time, as we had just crossed the border, the night of annihilation was about to occur, and the golden finger had not awakened. In the past life, I was just an ordinary person, and there was so much despair in my heart. Now, my hatred towards Daitu is so strong. With a flick of his right hand on Daitu's body, his reincarnation eyes devoured his soul, and Daitu died like this. Kill the shadow-level powerhouse with a kill point of 40,000. Black Jew handed the kaleidoscope with soil to Zhen. Consume killing points and perfectly integrate the divine power kaleidoscope. 20,000 kill points have been consumed, fusion successful. It really hurts a bit. In Heijue's suspicious eyes, Yuzhibo's white eyes in his left eye gradually became scarlet, just like the kaleidoscope with dirt. I glanced at Heiju and didn't say anything. This time, he was just trying to intimidate him. After gaining divine power, no one can kill him anymore. If Heiju listens well, there will naturally be times for mother and son to reunite in the future. Otherwise, he will have to have another child with Huiyi in the future. Let's go, it's time to save my cheap son. The next second, a vortex appeared at the focal point in front of me, completely sucking in Yuzhibo's body. My gaze was a bit deep, and I wanted to hurt the ninja coalition this time, so much so that I didn't dare to come back to find myself. Since you don't want to give up the power of Nanamura, I still insist on showing it to you all. All the senior officials in Nanamura who thought about killing me are going to die. Chapter 7. One move to quickly kill Gangshou. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. This time, the trap against Uchiha was mainly fought by the 5 shadows, with 2,000 ninjas deployed from each village, totaling 10,000 ninja troops. Tuanzang became the acting Hokage, and after resolving Yuzhibo Zhen, he will take on the position of the 5th generation. No one feels that their strength has skyrocketed to the point of surpassing the 5 shadows in just 1 month. The unequal information on both sides doomed the disastrous defeat of the Ninja Alliance. The rest of the shadows are not at ease going deep into Kiba, because if Uchiha really doesn't fall into the trap, Kiba's prey is likely to become them. When the time comes, they will send a large army to besiege them, and even if they can fight again, they will die exhausted. The final decision was to publicly execute Uchiha Sasuke in the permanently neutral Samurai Kingdom and Iron Kingdom. I used my old nose to promote the public execution of the former clan leader of Uchiha, in order to slap Uchiha in the face and turn the once leading family in the ninja world into a bereaved dog. Leaving the Uchiha clan, apart from being truly unexpected, did not have enough strong individuals. Writing will eyes became a hot resource, and every village was eyeing Uchiha. This time, Sasuke was not locked up in the cell, but in front of everyone, right under the nose of Goai. After all, the warning of Uchiha's escape from prison was there. If Sasuke accidentally ran away again, wouldn't it be a loss of blood? Everyone was rubbing their hands and waiting for Uchiha to truly come, but Daitu was killed by Shin, causing the fourth-generation Shuein Goji Yakura, who was originally under control, to unravel the illusion. After digesting the memories in his mind, Yakura's expression changed greatly, and endless regret appeared on his face. He hated himself for being controlled by illusions and for doing so much to harm the village. However, Yakura has no intention of going back. Since he has done so many wrong things in the past, this time he wants to uncover the true secret of Uchiha and make Wuren village stronger, striving to make up for his past mistakes. The other few shadows were all experts, sensing the fluctuations in Shueing's heart and curious, but they didn't say anything. Near the samurai village of the Iron Kingdom, in a forest, ninjas cleared all the trees and erected a tall execution platform. "So are you going to kill me now?" Sasuke felt a bit uneasy as he was tied up in a foreign land, with so many people looking at him with unfriendly eyes. Although Itachi repeatedly promised that it was just acting as bait, Sasuke still felt that those people, especially the one-eyed dragon with bandages on his hand, really wanted to kill him. "Why can't we leave with Mom?" This is Sasuke's first time not calling him Itachi brother. Why didn't my brother let my mother leave with them at that time? In Sasuke's heart, the place with family is home, and he has never had a sense of belonging to the village of Kiba, which is extremely hostile to Uchiha. Isn't it okay to leave even if you feel uncomfortable living here? You killed your father, so many people. Sasuke saw Itachi's irrationality for the first time and developed a slight sense of fear towards him. Seeing my brother pounding my father into flesh and mud with my own eyes, the shock was unimaginable. But in Uchiha Itachi's heart, that's not what he thinks. The family who gave birth to him and raised him were abandoned. In this lifetime, the people of Yuzhibo cancelled the coup and wanted to leave the sad place of Mai. However, all of this was seen by Yuzhibo Itachi as a betrayal of the village. How indifferent. It should be noted that he was still the eldest son of the Yuzhibo clan and had been admired by countless people since childhood. In Itachi's heart, a stable Kiba village is supreme, and only stable Kiba is a symbol of peace. Since being taken to the battlefield by Fuyue when he was a child, Itachi has been scared out of his wits. For this reason, anyone who disrupts stability and peace should die, even their own parents. Those old and weak women and children, even if they didn't participate in the coup, as long as they have the evil surname Uchiha, they will die. Itachi thought so in his heart. Sasuke's words made Itachi feel very uncomfortable. His face was no longer as calm as before, and his crimson eyes were filled with endless killing intent. He felt that his brother's confusion and his parents' betrayal were all due to real reasons. Yuzhibo, you are a real disaster. It's all because of you that Mai has become like this. Stability has been destroyed, and I will definitely kill you. In order to deal with Yuzhibo, Itachi has found the legendary artifact, the 10-fist sword, which is said to be permanently sealed if stabbed. The naive Weasel didn't even notice that Tuanzang had a murderous heart towards their brothers. After experiencing the betrayal of the entire clan, the naturally evil Uchiha little ghost is not worthy of any trust. Do you know if you are playing the bitter meat trick? In Tuanzang's heart, Yuzhibo Itachi was a scout left by the Yuzhibo clan to gather information about Mai, so that one day he could seize her. Still feel at ease and become my experimental material. This is the most genuine thought in Tuanzang's heart, only the dead Uchiha is a good Uchiha. On the other hand, Yuzhibo set off for the Iron Kingdom after getting ready. He did not hide his body shape, and wanted notices from the 5 major countries were everywhere. As long as he dared to come up and catch him, he would be killed and the killing points would still be earned. After all, as long as there were enough killing points, immortality and other things were not a problem, and no one would dislike them. Seeing the village of the samurai, I really decided to eat something and go save Sasuke. It was so arrogant that the Ninja Alliance had already received the real news, but they didn't come to find him. They wanted to set the battlefield outside. Who would have thought that when I came out of the men's restroom at the tavern, I bumped into someone head-on. With blonde hair and blue pupils, she is such a plump and mature beauty. She is the first wet nurse of Kiba, Tsunade. Gangshou was originally waiting for Jin to come to the Iron Kingdom, but she was not seeking revenge for the third Hokage. In the bizarre deaths of his ex-boyfriend and younger brother, Gangate had already severed ties with the third-generation Hokage. In this book, the physical contact between Tsunade and Kato is limited to holding hands. The reason why she rushed back to Muyi was in that future, when she was actually taken away by Yuzhibo. 2 people, regardless of their identity, strength, or age, are incomparable. This also led to Tsunade's curiosity about Uchiha. She wanted to see what kind of magic this guy had. But she forgot one thing. A woman's curiosity is often the beginning of sinking. After waiting in the village of the samurai for too long, Gangate was naturally playful and came out to drink when he was bored. Then he met Uchiha Shin. At this moment, Gangshou was dizzy from drinking, with a seductive blush on his face, which was incredibly tempting. When he saw Uchiha Shin, Tsunade suddenly regained his senses and grabbed Shin's right hand. "Are you Yuzhibo Jin? The real person really looks a bit too handsome," said those beautiful eyes as they looked back and forth on him. "Do you want to come and compete? Let's take a gamble." The corners of my mouth twitched slightly, and my cheap son was still waiting for me. "Can I come back after I finish my job?" He didn't think that Gangshou would like an old ox to eat tender grass the first time they met, even though he was handsome. Gangshou's face showed a hint of disdain, not saying a word, but the meaning was already self-evident. His face is really dark. He can't stand women saying he's not good. "Alright, you brought it to your door yourself. Don't lose and you can't afford it." Gangshou patted his chest and said, "Little devil, what are you gambling on? Just bet that I can defeat you with one move. If you win, I'll promise you a condition. If you lose, don't blame me for doing whatever you want." She really spoke. Gangshou raised his eyebrows and said that when it comes to gambling, she is not tired anymore. Whenever there is gambling, she will rush. The mysterious Yuzhibo little ghost in front of her does not have the madness of the men who used to be Yuzhibo. The thick and indescribable vitality on her body makes Gangshou feel as if her bloodline is restless, with faint thoughts of sticking to it. She knew that Yuzhibo would be very strong in the future, but now that he is strong enough to defeat her with just one move, Gangshou wouldn't even believe it. "Little devil, you're thinking pretty well. Rolling dice or something." Gangshou thinks he might lose, but this kind of gambling, Gangshou really feels like he has won. "Okay, I'll bet you." Gangshou seemed to have seen a beautiful future of bullying Yuzhibo Jin. I didn't say much, just a meaningful smile on my face and then cut through my fingertips with a knife. Blood flowed out and extended the wound in front of Gangshou. In an instant, Gangshou's breathing became rapid, his bones softened, and he collapsed in the arms of Yuzhibo Jin. He suffered from a panic attack and had no strength left. "You're despicable." Gangshou's face turned red, but his body couldn't lift any strength, and every cell in his body emitted a smell of fear. Chapter 8. The Magnificence of the Weasel, however. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After putting on his clothes, he really felt a fragrance on Gungate's face, then opened the spatial vortex and left. Leave Gangshou alone to contemplate life. I'm so angry, but why didn't I take action? Do I like him? Gangshou thought to himself, is this love at first sight? She's only 18 years old, but she looks even more mature than her. On the other side, a pitch-black spatial vortex appeared out of thin air. Yuzhibo walked out from inside and stood beside Sasuke, watching the crowd surrounding him and the 5 shadows at the front. There are many acquaintances, he said with a hint of sarcasm on his face. Sasuke, who was locked in a cage, was very surprised. These days, he has also talked a lot to Itachi, knowing that Kiba did all this for his cousin Uchiha Shin. Sasuke thought Shin wouldn't come. Don't be afraid, Sasuke. I'm Yuzhibo, your cousin. But you can also call me Dad in the future. After I finish dealing with this group of people, I'll take you home soon. Yuzhibo smiled. The next second, Shenwei will activate. Directly sucked Sasuke into the divine space. Everything happened too quickly, but Wu Ying was not in a hurry to take action. Yuzhibo Itachi was a chess piece used to consume Yuzhibo's true power. At this moment, Uchiha Itachi's face was full of anger, and his mesmerizing kaleidoscope had already been revealed. He was staring at Uchiha Jin intently. Uchiha Jin, it's all your fault. Father will die, mother will betray the village, all because of your existence. You took away your mother, your tribe, and now you also took away my younger brother. Yuzhibo, why don't you die? The sky is shining. The legendary supreme fire, never extinguished when it encounters water, never burns its enemies to ashes, and will never be extinguished. Chakras are destined to only serve as nourishment for the scorching sun. At the focal point, an indelible black flame fell from the void, intending to burn Uchiha Jin to ashes. You're too narrow-minded, Yuzhibo sneered on his face. In this world of extraordinary power, only unity can bring peace and turn the ninja world into a country with immense strength. Only then can there be no more war. Instead of being an ostrich like you, where you can only see a piece of land in front of you. For the sake of unity, the ninja village system is destined to become history. Just a gentle wave of my hand, the reincarnation eye in my hand devoured the scorching flames of the sky. Anything made up of energy cannot escape the absorption of his pupil technique. The next second, the pitch-black flames erupted from the palm of his hand, transforming into a ferocious black dragon and heading straight towards Uchiha Itachi. Wherever black flame passes, everything burns into charcoal. Uchiha Itachi was able to dodge, but the ninja army behind him couldn't dodge. They only spotted sparks on their bodies, but they spread rapidly towards their entire bodies. A few people have been burned to ashes, but the black flames have fallen to the ground, using rock and soil as fuel, and have never been extinguished. Seeing that Uchiha could truly absorb ninjutsu, many ninja allies, including the 5 shadows, looked surprised. Those ninjas who were treated as cannon fodder had no choice but to charge forward and use their physical skills to confront the enemy. The sharp, painless tail wrapped around the detonating talisman and threw it towards Yuzhibo like no money, densely packed. Shenluo Tianjing. The gravitational force surrounding the body transformed into the most perfect barrier, knocking everyone away. The screams echoed around the ears, and the flames of the explosion engulfed everyone, leaving corpses with broken arms flying everywhere. Yuzhibo stepped out with one foot and turned into a silhouette, appearing in front of Yuzhibo Itachi. With a punch, his muscles and bones roared, and his thin and weak body contained a powerful energy that could drive mountains and crack soil. Itachi quickly activated the Susanenhu, and the orange-armored giant raised its mountain-like fist, pounding at Jin like it was about to kill an ant. There was a hint of mockery on my face. Bang! I only heard a loud bang. Just like the sound of broken glass, a huge black shadow flew backwards, crashing out for hundreds of meters, shaking the earth and mountains. Until the smoke and dust dissipated, Wu-Ying realized that it was actually Itachi Susanoo who had been knocked away. At this moment, a large piece of Su Zhuanenghu's chest was damaged, and his whole body was covered in spider web-like cracks, as if he was about to completely shatter in the next second. The eyes of Uchiha Itachi, who was wrapped in it, were bleeding. This really controls his strength, otherwise this punch could directly destroy Susa. At this point, Itachi Susa can only move to the second form. I really know Itachi has already found that magical 10-fist sword to deal with him, and his favorite thing is to destroy Itachi's confidence. Do you know Itachi? There are so many mentally disabled members of the Uchiha clan, and the one I dislike the most is you. On the morning when I was caught by Mai, I was still thinking about how I had never done anything wrong. How could I survive the night of your planned extermination? Do you know how unwilling and afraid I am? Uncle was killed by your own child. If it weren't for my quick return, you would have killed Mei Qin. What kind of son are you? Even on the night of extermination, oh, you want peace. Just go and kill those who plan to coup. So many people who have never participated in Uchiha's decisions, only live their own lives, and even ninjas are not old, weak, women and children. Just because they are called Uchiha, you have to kill them. What are you? Uncle Fuyue has shown me the kindness of saving my life. For the sake of Uncle, and also for the revenge of those who died in vain in your hands, you are all dead today, Itachi. When watching anime in my past life, I really didn't like Itachi, a brainwashed orphan. Although I had strength and status, I ended up choosing to slaughter innocent ordinary people. Even the current Yuzhibo Zhen, as long as you don't think about being enemies with him, Zhen won't harm any innocent. Chapter 9. Defeating the Five Shadows, the Face Fruit of the Six Immortals. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. After dealing with Uchiha Itachi, the surroundings suddenly became quiet. Everyone has witnessed that Uchiha can truly absorb ninjutsu and feels fearful. The only way to deal with enemies is through physical skills, but a single punch from physical skills can even shatter Susan 1. Even if you have 10,000 lives on your own, it's not enough to really kill. What should you do? The 10,000 Ninja Coalition, which had gathered 5 major ninja villages, came to a halt one after another. Among these people, Uchiha is still a minority, and the vast majority of ninjas only receive orders from their superiors. Therefore, when they come over, they do not know the true information of Uchiha, so they will naturally be afraid. And those who have seen the future picture are also secretly sighing. Zilaiya's face was also full of positivity. Old man, I have a long way to go to avenge you. With his own strength, Zilaiya has already seen the eye of reincarnation in Uchiha's hand. Today's game is likely to suffer heavy casualties. However, Zilaiya did not give up and left behind a clone to secretly observe the battle. He wanted to inquire more about the true abilities of Uchiha. Looking at the numerous cannon fodder that was frightened, Yuzhibo really had a slight sneer on his face. At present, they are frightened by their strength, but as long as the 5 shadows give a command one by one, they will still charge forward fearlessly, just to expend a little more of their own strength. The ninja realm is such a damn and deformed world. The shadows in each village are brainwashing masters. Even if they do something bad, even if it doesn't benefit the village at all, as long as the shadows give orders, everyone will sacrifice their lives even if they are afraid. If you are unwilling to give everything for the shadow, then you are an unforgivable criminal who will be isolated by everyone and even lose your life as a result. It's really impossible for these ninjas to be merciless and let go. The invincibility of the true body technique, which has obtained the power of the big barrel wood peach, has a majestic chakra like the sea in the air, but does not know ninjutsu. After much thought, it was really not easy to come up with a skill that can directly clean up those cannon fodder. Flies always fly around, which is annoying for everyone. Finally, Wu-Ying gave the order. Give it to me. Jitsuan Tuanzang let out a roar. He didn't care about the life or death of others. Even if he used his life to pile up, as long as he could truly weaken, it was worth it. The place where his Tuanzang was hiding was the wooden leaves. The ninjas trembled all over, and the groups of companions around them seemed to give them strength and confidence. For the village. With a grit of their teeth, they rushed towards Uchiha Shin like a swarm. The explosive talisman lingers around Kowu, throwing it away like no money, and some even try to lock their bodies. However, Uchiha's hands closed and he floated into the air, like a celestial being standing in the sun. When the palm reached out, a pitch-black ball slowly took off. Earth burst celestial star. The little black ball flew towards the sky, and in an instant, a massive gravitational force erupted from it, like an earthquake, tearing apart mountains and rivers. Rock after rock like small mountains were pulled out of the ground, and 100-meter-tall tree was uprooted, unable to escape even the rushing river. Everything visible to the naked eye was pulled directly towards the sky by the immense gravity, forming a shell that was tightly sucked onto the edge of the small black ball. All the ninjas lost control of their bodies, floated up, and were sucked over. Lord Hokage, help me. What kind of magic is this? Someone was howling, someone was trying to attack Uchiha Shin, causing the gravity in the sky to disappear. However, one giant rock after another was pulled up from the ground and quickly collided with this small black ball, layer by layer. Soon, there was no sound. As long as the strength is strong enough, it is still possible to break free from its gravity, and the 5 shadows can withstand the completion of the earth-burst celestial star. In just 1 minute, a huge stone ball with a diameter of 2,000 meters appeared in the sky, while underground, a valley several kilometers away appeared, like a miracle, changing the landscape with a wave of his hand. The 10,000 ninja army, not a single one left, was sucked in and crushed into flesh by the rock. Kill a ninja, kill point plus 240. Kill an upper ninja, kill point plus 1000. Kill a ninja, kill point plus 20. Yuzhibo waved his hand again, and the earth-burst star was cancelled. The huge rock ball fell like a meteorite, causing the earth to shake and the earth to shatter. However, there was not a single survivor among them. A series of system prompts, Yuzhibo really has a bright smile on his face. This is a real Gangshou, salad of assorted fresh vegetables. The Ninja Alliance has 10,000 soldiers, and the worst of them are all ninjas. The killing points gained in this wave are about 500,000, which is enough to further enhance their true strength. Wu Ying's face showed a strange expression. At this moment, seeing the iconic skill of Earth Burst and Celestial Star, combined with the image of the future, they didn't even know that Uchiha had awakened his reincarnation eye, and his eyes were even hotter. Although the eye of the immortal is powerful, it is not enough to deter the 5 shadows from joining forces. Instead, it stimulates the greed of several people. As for the ability to break the beard through physical techniques, Itachi's beard was actually not taken seriously by the others, and at this time, Itachi was only 12 years old. And with the use of the Earth-Burst Celestial Star technique on such a large scale, how much more can chakra really be left? Up. Tuanzang glanced at the others and nodded one after another. With his arm tied in bandages, one of the Sharingan eyes quietly lost its light, but he slipped away without anyone noticing his small movements. Yuzhibo did not exterminate the clan, but some people still died while evacuating Kiba. So Tuanzang still collected the Sharingan of his arm. I don't believe he can even absorb my dust escape, said the 3rd-generation Tuing Inoki with a fierce expression on his face. Dust done, a blood stain elimination formed by the fusion of 3 attributes of chakra, is even more difficult than the blood stain limit. It can completely molecule the thing hit by the spell from a molecular level. Even chakra and other energies cannot be blocked, thus completely killing the opponent. Inoki is even older than Ape Flying Sun Slash, and his overall strength is basically above that of Chindan. Even so, he is still one of the strongest in the current ninja world, which shows the horror of Chindan. A rock supported the big wild wood and flew directly to the sky higher than Yuzhibo Zhen. The old man looked down at Zhen from a high position. Little ghost, you shouldn't have had your mind on my precious granddaughter. Dust escape. The technique of peeling off the original realm. A pure white beam of light appeared in the palm of Inoki's hand. In the blink of an eye, the beam spread like a huge cylinder, instantly piercing through Uchiha's chest. The beam of light passed through the body, and the earth beneath the real body seemed to meet the fiery snowflakes, melting instantly. A smooth gully spread for hundreds of meters, as if nothing had ever been there before. You really showed a hint of fear on his face. It seemed like he was about to fall to the ground, but the next second, a teasing expression appeared on his face. You're teasing me, you didn't hit me, he said. Inoki saw a kaleidoscope will eye in the shape of a sword in his hand. The divine power has already been activated and evaded through virtualization. If I touch it, the game will end. With just one touch, I can draw out your soul. I don't know what the old man's soul tastes like, maybe it's not delicious. A cold expression appeared in my eyes. Wanxiang Tianin. The palm emits a huge gravitational force that is about to directly suck the wildwood in. Inoki's body began to lose control, but a sneer appeared on his face. If you want to touch me, you won't be able to become ethereal. Come and try this, little ghost, see who will die first. In the blink of an eye, another white void block appeared in my hand. At this moment, a thunderous roar echoed through the sky, but the thunderous shadow that activated the Thunder Dun chakra mode rushed over. Lei hot knife. The right arm wrapped in chakra was like a blade, and Lei collided at a super high speed. Under that tremendous force, he headed straight towards Yuzhibo's neck. Touch Uchiha was completely oblivious and turned into a shooting star, directly hitting the earth. Fengyin controlled a large amount of iron sand, transforming it into a sharp spear and following closely, about to pierce Yuzhibo Zhen's chest. And the dust escape barrier of Tu Ying was also thrown down, aiming to pierce through the heart of Yuzhibo Zhen. They no longer expect to be captured alive, even if they kill Zhen, the body is still a treasure. Not to mention that every village actually has a secret technique of interrogating memories from the deceased, it's just not very accurate. If we still keep our hands on it, it's only possible that we will die ourselves. A gust of fresh wind blew away the smoke and dust, and the spear made of iron sand was only 10 centimeters away from Yuzhibo's true heart. However, this final point seemed to be infinitely far and could not be broken through, but was blocked by the repulsive barrier of the Shenluo Tianzheng. The other hand absorbed the dust escape barrier directly. He stretched out his left hand, grabbed the iron spear, and threw it back. The spear turned into a black stream of light, but in an instant, it crossed over 100 meters and was about to pierce through the chest of Fengyin. He finally propped up a side against the wall, blocking the incoming spear. Iron sand collided, and flames shot everywhere. Gao Huangchan Lingzuan. The absorbed dust retreated back to the original path, and the speed and coverage range expanded several times. Almost instantly, it came to the front of Inoki and exploded. The dazzling white light surged in the sky. And the water shadow on the side has transformed into 3 tails. Knowing that the tail beast Jade will also be absorbed by the reincarnation eye, the water shadow is destined to only transform into a tail beast and fight through its massive body. The turtle stood up, with 3 tails wrapped around its belly. The shark shell was exposed all around, and the 3 tails turned into a huge detachment, carrying a meteorite impact with an imposing force that also fiercely collided with Uchiha. Touch rocks and rocks were flying everywhere, and the earth beneath his feet revealed ferocious cracks. Yuzhibo was like a nail, fiercely smashed into the ground, but his footsteps did not move a bit. However, no matter how strong the tail beast is, how could it possibly be too big for a large wooden cylinder? Raise your snow-white fist and punch the 3 tails away. In an instant, with the eyes of reincarnation, he made 3 black sticks and directly nailed the 3 tails to the ground. The black stick has the effect of interfering with the flow and cohesion of chakra. The 3-tailed water shadow is directly eliminated, making chakra unable to flow and directly transforming from three-tailed to human body, pinned to the ground and unable to move. A satisfied smile really appeared on his face. Even for the big barrel wood, there are quite a lot of chakras for a tail beast. It seems that he can taste the delicious food later. Divine power was activated, but he suddenly appeared by Fengying's side with a punch. The iron sand giant condensed by the wind and shadow instantly exploded, and Wanxiang Tianyin pulled the wind and shadow around. Reincarnation Eye, Human Tao, Soul Absorbing. Directly drained the soul of Fengying Luosha and devoured it. Fengying, die. The dust escape of Inoki fell down again. The white barrier instantly expanded by several hundred meters, and everything within it became void, with no wind, shadow, or bones remaining. The real figure transformed into a white stream of light, fighting against the thunderous shadow that seemed to descend like a god of thunder. The reincarnation eye can create a black stick that interferes with chakra through yin and yang evasion, and can naturally change its shape to make this weapon into another shape. Wave your hand, two pitch black finger tigers appear in your hand. In his past life, he was a boxing enthusiast who naturally enjoyed using his fists to fight against enemies. The finger tiger he made, like the black stick, could interfere with the opponent's chakra flow with every strike. Yuzhibo really unleashes all his firepower and no longer suppresses his physical strength. Fists and punches are the romance of men. His fist is as powerful as a dragon and tiger, combined with the Xingyi fist from his past life memories, making it difficult for Lei Ying, who only knows how to attack with speed and strength, to resist. Thunder kept ringing in my ears. Each blow can use the reincarnation eye on the hand to suck away the chakra of the thunder shadow part. By the time thunder's shadow reacted, it was too late and the thunder-done armor on the body surface was broken by a real punch. 7 ribs were broken, and the whole person flew 360 degrees backwards into the ground, plowing out a 100-meter deep ditch, but completely lost its combat effectiveness. With the physical strength of De Guanmu's ability to smash a kilometer-high mountain with a single punch, Lei Ying was lucky enough to not die after taking this punch. Waving his hand, 4 black sticks were shot out from the air, directly nailing to Lei Ying's limbs. I really discovered that Tuanzang had escaped a long time ago, but he didn't care. The only enemy left now is Tsukiyoshi Inoki. Looking around, he surprisingly found that the Earth's shadow was still absorbed by even the dust escape before floating directly in the sky and running away. I can only say that I am truly worthy of being an old man, and I am different from those foolish young people like Fengying and others. Shueying Yensong and Leiying Ai both had a hint of bitterness on their faces. The agreed alliance, that's it. After working hard for a long time, as long as they are working hard. They never expected that Yuzhibo, the son of prophecy, would make such rapid progress in strength, and their defeat would be so rapid. It seems that they cannot survive. Is it destined for the downfall of Nanamura? As a family that can evolve infinitely, even without chakras, the physical strength of the great barrel wood is beyond the imagination of people in the ninja realm. Yuzhibo used his reincarnation eyes to suck away almost all the 3-tailed chakras from Shueying's body, and a red chakra fruit appeared in his hand, resembling a heart. Eat it in one bite. In an instant, I felt as if my soul had turned biochemical. It was an indescribable delicacy in the world, making every cell tremble and crave. My body becomes stronger. Compared to before, it has increased its strength by at least 20%, and something seems to be beginning to conceive in the eyes of reincarnation. And he can clearly perceive that his lifespan has increased. At this moment, I finally understood why De Guanmu in the original work went to such a great deal of trouble to capture the 10-tailed chakra. I haven't completely absorbed the 3 tails. As long as I leave a trace of intelligence, the chakra in the ninja realm will slowly converge on the 3 tails and continue to grow, allowing them to come and harvest every once in a while. If there were no tailed beasts, those chakras would only float in the ninja realm and no one could use them. Even if they were big barrel wood, they could not gather those chakras together. We need to have a long-term perspective and pay attention to sustainable development. I really want to kill these two people. The 20,000 killing points are not a small fraction, and it is difficult to encounter shadow-level masters who have enemies with me. Suddenly, a starlight emerged from the sky, and in the blink of an eye, he appeared in a beautiful valley. The 6 immortals, dressed in white robes, looked like extraordinary experts and appeared before his eyes. He was truly vigilant in his heart. This was a strange space, and he did not expect the physical death of the 6 immortals. With his soul alone in the pure land, he could be easily moved to a strange space. Are you a member of the Otoku clan? Lu Dao was also carefully scrutinizing Zhen. Although he had seen it many times in the ninja realm, it was still so close that he couldn't see through it, like a chaotic scene. I'm just a lucky goose who has gained the power of the big barrel wood, Zhen shook his head. I have been watching the ninja realm all along. There shouldn't be too much chaos there. This time, you also killed 10,000 of them. The Ninja Alliance is venting your anger. Why don't you give me face? Let the remaining 4 shadows survive. The 6 immortals smiled and walked along the truth in front of them. Yuzhibo raised his eyebrows and said, Are you so confident that you can kill me with just a trace of your soul projection? You are in the underworld, and it's not so easy to return to the real world, right? The soul of the 6 immortals is still in the underworld, which is just a projection carrying a trace of his power, equivalent to a shadow clone. Upon hearing the truth, Lu Dao just smiled and waved his hand. A faint light descended from the sky, melting the earth in front of him into a 10,000-meter deep groove. Yuzhibo didn't even see what power it was. After a moment of silence, Zhen finally nodded and agreed. As the son of the previous generation's destiny, the 6 immortals had accumulated 1,000 years more than him, and their strength was a bit uncertain. The so-called Old Death is nonsense, and the 6 immortals are only in the underworld for cultivation. Zhen said, Let's not do it again. I'll give you this face, but what price can you pay? The 6 immortals nodded in satisfaction, and a stream of light flooded into their true bodies. Ignoring the ugly expression on Uchiha's face, they smiled and waved their hands. This is a small gift, just as an apology. I believe we will meet again in the future. Although the 6 immortals have always looked smiling, they have long wanted to eliminate the unstable factor of Uchiha. At this time, he is seizing the power of the King of Hell, the underworld and the present world, 1 and 2 sides. He could feel that if he were to kill Yuzhibo himself, it would provoke fierce resistance from the King of Hell, and then he would have to die together. Even De Guanmu is not invincible in the world of ninja. Don't worry, you won't live longer and become my elixir, Yuzhibo. 6 immortals smiled. The next second, the real body had already returned to the ninja realm, while the bodies of Lei Ying and Shui Ying had disappeared. It must have been sent back to their respective ninja villages by the 6 immortals. Yuzhibo's face showed a hint of ferocity, but the 6 immortals intervened and forbade him from killing the other shadows. Moreover, he had a murderous heart towards himself before, even though it was only for a moment, and the other person had left something on him. System, consume killing points to explore what the 6 immortals have sent into my body and forcibly devour it. Ding, the memory of the 6 immortals has been devoured, and this time it costs 100,000 killing points. My heart is really filled with anger. To view the memories of the 6 immortals, one must merge them. Although one can learn many ancient secrets and powerful spells, once merged, who knows if they are still not themselves. A person who is not good will become confused as to whether they are Yuzhibo or the 6 Paths Immortal. To ensure the smooth progress of the plot. But now that the plot has collapsed so much, what use are you trying to save the 4 of them? He knew that the 6 immortals had been staring at the ninja realm and had thought that the opponent's strength would be very strong, but he never expected that even in the underworld, the opponent could have such an impact on reality. Is it true that the 6 Immortals are going to become the masters of the plane, just like what is written in some Hokage characters? Shaking his head, he threw away those messy thoughts first. Since Lu Dao had not torn his face now, he naturally wouldn't have foolishly sent them to his door. Time is still long, and I am not without the power to resist. The next second, a pitch-black spatial vortex appeared before his eyes, and he flew straight in. He returned to the hotel where he had been lingering with Tsunade before, and he was about to take Tsunade back to Ueno village. As a result, he pounced on nothing, and Gangshou had just woken up. However, he still left a mark on Gangshou's body. With his detective ability, he naturally found Gangshou. Yuzhibo looked at the scene in front of him and raised his eyebrows. He didn't expect Zilaiya to bump into Gangshou again. Taking one step, the next second, I walked out of the space portal and stood next to Tsunade and Zilaiya. In Zilaiya's stunned state, Yuzhibo casually hugged Gangshou's waist and said, "I'm going to take Gangshou home. Goodbye." Chapter 10. Zilaiya fans suggest skipping directly. You are listening at novel full.audio. Gangshou wanted to break free from his true embrace and be held in his arms in public to do those intimate actions. Even if he was as casual as Gangshou, he would still feel shy. The result was really too tight, and Gangshou could only give up, casting a good-looking glance at Chaozhen. "Just hold on and don't move your hands. There's still someone here. I have almost had a heart attack since I came here." Before drinking, I still wanted to cultivate feelings with the goddess. As a result, the goddess became another woman in the blink of an eye. Normally, Uchiha is not so sleazy. The reason why he did this was intentional, just to get angry. He doesn't like Zilaiya, and Zilaiya has always coveted Gangshou, which is very annoying. Zilaiya on one side was also stunned, his teeth were almost biting apart. "Gangshou, you're actually with him. Do you know that he was the murderer of the old man? Just now, he also slaughtered 10,000 ninja allies. He is a demon who kills without blinking an eye. How can you be with him? And you've only known each other for a few days. How could you not love yourself so much?" Zilaiya also gritted his teeth, hating the appearance of iron not turning into steel. Gangshou let out a hiccup and said, "We're not kids anymore. Since then, have you forgotten? When the old man designed to kill the rope tree, I cut ties with him. The last time I went back to it was not to avenge the old man, but because of curiosity, I wanted to meet the little guy next to me who might become my husband in the future. Currently, it seems quite delicious." This statement left Zilaiya speechless. In the realm of ninja, the master had a relationship comparable to that of his father. In order to consolidate his power, Monkey Flying Sun Zhan used a scheme to kill the younger brother of Gangshou, Shengshu. Gangshou became disheartened and cut off his relationship with Monkey Flying. No one can blame Gangshou for this. Then you can't be with him either. Zilaiya also wanted to defend himself. Gangshou smiled and said, "Why? Just because he killed your master. Why bother? Ape Fei is no longer the respected teacher he used to be. Since he has returned, it proves that the 5 Shadows Alliance and the 10,000 Ninjas Alliance are almost dead. Why bother asking for trouble? So many years have passed, and I have always regarded you as my good friend, but since then, we have all grown up and each has their own lives. My emotional life doesn't require your guidance." Zilaiya also felt a bit uncomfortable in his heart. Although the goddess was still his best friend before, now it's all because of that despicable Uchiha. Upon hearing this, Yuzhibo beside him showed a satisfied smile. True white eyes have already seen through the divine essence of Zilaiya. Zilaiya, who has been staying at Miaomu Mountain for many years, has been completely assimilated by that group of toads. Nowadays, Zilaiya can also be said to be a toad dressed in human skin, and its principles of dealing with people are controlled by the toads. "Zilaiya, I saw you at Sasuke's execution ground before. Why did you suddenly leave behind? You didn't even say hello to me." There was a hint of mockery on my face. Aren't you also coming to kill me for some chaotic so-called future? If so, I'll give you a chance to get hands-on. Do you want to go out and have a try? Zilaiya was also deceived by the toad and became lame. At first, he accepted Changmen as his disciple, not because he couldn't see them suffer, but because Changmen had a reincarnation eye, and he felt that Changmen was the son of prophecy. The reason why I became a disciple at the Water Gate is the same. After the death of Shuemen, Naruto suffered a lot of humiliation in Kiba. How could Jiraiya not know? Shuemen respected Jiraiya as his father, and Jiraiya also took some care of Naruto after Shuemen's death. Isn't it right for Jiraiya to take some care of Naruto? In the realm of ninja, the relationship between master and disciple is on par with that of father and son. Later, when he returned to Kiba, he accepted Naruto as his disciple because he believed that Naruto was the true son of prophecy. Therefore, I have never really liked Zilaiya. The faint killing intent on Zilaiya's body is not something that I cannot feel, let alone that Zilaiya has been coveting Gangshou in his heart. But now that Gangshou is his own woman, being careful, how could he possibly let go of Zilaiya? Looking at the truth in front of me, there was a kaleidoscope writing will eye, a white eye, and a pair of reincarnation eyes in my hand. Since then, the corners of my mouth have been twitching, and I had to bow my head under the eaves. When I figure out your abilities and find your weaknesses, it's time for me to avenge the old man and Mu Yi. Humph. Immediately, Zilaiya also turned to Zhen and said, "What do you think of the peace in the ninja realm?" Upon hearing these words, there was a hint of mockery on his face. Aren't you all convinced that the future is real? Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible to come to me, would it? Just do what you want to do, whether it's life or death, it's all your own choice. Let me tell you, anyone can understand anything, that's nonsense, only unity can bring peace. Zilaiya also shook his head and found an excuse to leave. Gangshou looked helplessly at Zhen beside him and said, although Zilaiya is not young, he is still as naive as a child. His views on many issues are too one-sided. He shook his head and said, if it weren't for your face, I would have killed him today. Do you really think he's here for a trip? I saw him at Sasuke's execution ground before. He came to kill me and avenge his teacher, Monkey Flying Sun /. If I show any signs of decline, I will definitely take action. The reason why he left is just that he feels like he can't win by doing it himself. Gangshou fell silent and said, if possible, I hope you have the opportunity to let him go. He has been one of my few friends since then, and of course I won't like him. There aren't really many friends who survived in my era. As soon as these words came out, I felt really uncomfortable in my heart. This guy has been your licking dog for so many years. You wouldn't really have him in your heart, would you? Just now, you didn't even admit that you were my woman, and now you're begging me for the sake of Zilaiya, this brainless person. Come on, fight another fight. If you win, I'll let him go. With a wave of his hand, a pitch-black space portal appeared. Yuzhibo directly picked up Gangshou, walked in, and instantly returned to the bedroom of the hotel. By the time the war was over, it was already sunset. Truly carrying Gangshou, he crossed the space and instantly returned to Yurin village. Anxious and uneasy, Mei Qin was stunned as she watched Jin return with Gangshou. She didn't find her son and became anxious in an instant. Tears streamed down her face, and she collapsed to the ground. Her eyes were lifeless, as if the sky had collapsed. Sasuke, it's all me who caused you trouble. Lying down. Yuzhibo looked really shocked. I just said I seem to have forgotten something. Quickly opened the divine power space. Inside was Uchiha Sasuke, who had not eaten for a day and was starving to the brink of death.